Well, hello there. We are back. It's been a crazy couple of years. We've the channel's been offline during the pandemic and all the shenanigans around that, and there's been a lot of changes in our lives. We've actually now moved to the States, so we're now based over here, and we've decided to do some Iowa vlogs over the coming months. So first up is a bucket list one for me. When I moved to London back in the late 80s, one of the first shows I saw in the West End was Buddy, and absolutely loved it, fell in love with it. Had the cast soundtrack on virtually constantly when I was working backstage in one of the theatres in the West End, and the show itself ends with a recreation of Buddy's last concert at the Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa, along with Ritchie, Valens and the Big Bopper. And I've always wanted to visit the Surf Ballroom, and as you can see, Lee and I are sitting here. We're on a bench outside the Surf Ballroom. If you can see the name up there, yeah, I think I can just about get it in. There we go. So here we are. It's been we're about 3 hours from where we're now living. We travelled up last night. We had a long night in a hotel, and now we are about to enter. So come along and join us.
It's dateline February 2nd, 1959, and the snow is a-coming down in the Midwest, and boy, is it a cold. Spare a thought tonight, folks, for Buddy, who's out there in the freezing cold, touring the Midwest with a winter dance party. With Buddy on the tour are the Big Bopper and Ritchie Valens. Well, I bet you folks that despite the weather, Buddy, Ritchie, and the Big Bopper will have 'em rocking in the aisles tonight at the Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake.
And here we are inside the Surf Ballroom. As you can see, they've retained the old booth seating back as it was in the day. They've even kept the decor up on the back wall of all the surf beach vibe that they had going back then. And I'll just pan round. You can see the ballroom floor, the dance floor. We've walked on it. It's a lovely sprung dance floor, and more booth seating all around the side until you get around to the stage, the iconic stage. I'm just going to zoom in. And there you have it. That is where the Big Bopper, Ritchie Valens and Buddy Holly played their last concert here at the Surf Ballroom in Iowa. We're going to have a look around. There's a museum here. There's also lots of other little bits and bobs to show you. In the dressing room, hopefully, and a payphone that has a story behind it. And we'll show you all that in a little while. But here we are, Surf Ballroom.
kind of interesting because this is Matthew and Gunnar Nelson, and it's Rick Nelson on the left, and he was their father. And he was known for being an Ozzie and Harriet sitcom way back when. And they were from Iowa, in fact. If we look closely, that says when Matthew and Gunnar hit #1 on Billboard charts with their self-penned #1 mega hit, Can't Live Without Your Love and Affection, it put the Nelson family in the Guinness Book of World Records as the only family in entertainment history with 3 generations of #1 hit makers. On the upper left there, that's Ozzie Nelson. The Nelson family also has a distinction of all 3 generations having performed their hits here at the Surf Ballroom. Many, many more famous people alongside that famous triumph right there with their photos. Their many guitars. A photo of the final performance. Yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis, Pat Boone, Bo Diddley. Lots of autographs. The Crickets themselves. My lovely visage. Some posters of the many, many events from the more recent years. Little Big Town, Dirk Bentley, Vince Neil, Kevin Costner, which may not be the first person you'd think of. Chris Christopherson and Merle Haggard. I can see Merle's signature on that, but I'm not sure about Chris. Way up in the upper right corner there. Yes, Martina McBride. One of my favorite hits, Independence Day. Buddy Guy, Craig Morgan, Cheap Trick, Randy Travis, and big tall lanky Neil McCoy. So many autographed instruments here, and just gads, whole walls of so many different artists from all across the spectrum: country, blues, rock and roll. And here's an autographed guitar from the late great B.B. King. ZZ Top. Not all autographs, but most of them are. All the photos, all the way up to the ceiling. Again, the late, the great Charlie Daniels and his fine fiddle. Brian Setzer. Gene Simmons of Kiss. and Peter Frampton. Again, crazy amounts of photos.
Here's a piece of history. Just by the entrance there is a payphone. Old style payphone, which is exactly the same as it was on the night of February the 2nd, 1959. And that is the payphone Ritchie Valens used to call his manager one last time before heading off for the plane, and Buddy used to call his wife, Maria Elena. That's the last time they spoke on this payphone here. There's a little sign above commemorating the fact. Wow.
I'm High Pockets Duncan, and you have been listening to the music of my friend and yours, who in the last 18 months gave us all so much, the late, great Buddy Holly, who died today, February 3rd, 1959, in a tragic plane crash which has shocked the nation. Also killed in the crash were the pilot, Mr. Roger Peterson, and two of Buddy's good friends, Mr. J.P. Richardson, the Big Bopper, and Mr. Ritchie Valens. And the rest will just be rock and roll.
Here we are, free parking, which is extremely nice of the landowners. And here we are. This is a very typical Iowa rural gravel road. And just across the way there, next to our road signs, people have left their marks there, stickers and so on. Not sure what that is. Gill leaf? Gull leaf. Not sure. But here is what we're after. This is the memorial to Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and J.P. Richardson, the Big Bopper, near to where the crash occurred. In this very distinctive shape of Buddy Holly's glasses. And very, very many people have left behind their little trinkets and memorials. Many pairs of glasses, as you can see, flowers and signs, and you can see it's lit from the bottom. There's lights there at night, for clearly at night. There's stickers and autographs. There's a bead tie there, tie made out of beads. There's a quickly drying out Sharpie, I can tell. I think the rain might be about to set in, so I might be needing to quickly do this. But so, messages, the music lives on. Numerous autographs, etc. Does it say sort of flowers or all kinds of little stickers and messages, and it's just wonderful. Lots of glasses, as you can see. Oh my gosh, look at this. That's awesome. Someone's left a note underneath a blue Sharpie here. So I'll do my best with this. What does this say? Okay. There's a lot of wind here, so bear with me. I'm gonna try to keep this sheet. It says, August 14th, 2022. Dear Buddy, we are from Lubbock, Texas. Months before we were born in 1959, you were tragically killed in a plane crash in this field with Ritchie Valens, the Big Bopper, and your pilot. Though your life here was too brief, your legacy remains strong and lives on through your music. Over 6 decades later, and the influence and impact you made on so many other musicians and your legion of fans over the years, you left an indelible imprint on rock and roll, your hometown of Lubbock, and the hearts of millions, including your brother Travis, whom I had the privilege of knowing from church. So every day, rave on until that'll be the day we can meet you face to face. Until then, be sure that you'll not fade away. With words of love, I want to say Millie B and Nick P. I hope that's Millie. Whoever that was, thank you, Millie and Nick. Thank you for that note. That's pretty cool that you leave that there. And I will put it right back where I found it. I think that's a pretty touching thing to do. Put some big stones weighting it down there. I think it might be about to rain. I think it's probably been rained on a few times already. A few people have left some coins down there too, you can see. But all the way down, stickers and people just leaving their little marks in tribute and memoriam. Jay and Connie. Thank you, Jay and Connie. The actual site of the crash is a little bit of a trek, a little bit way off, and that's kind of a long trip for us. So I think this is definitely touching and a tribute enough for us. So thank you for watching Zombie Adventures. Until next time, bye.